I'm Drishti Khandelwal from the ICFI Business School. Today I'm about to introduce someone who teaches at the Center of Comparative Literature, University of Hyderabad. She researches in the area of cultural discourses in contemporary India, translation studies, literature of India, minority language and politics, and Kodava performative cultures. She has published and co-edited book Cinemas of South India and Languages of Minorities. So please give a huge round of applause for Ms. Sowmya.
And thanks to the organizers and everyone who are here. I've been looking forward to this session very much, and I'm sure all of you are. Please welcome Ms. Vasamalli, ma'am. Ms. Vasamalli is one of the most prominent Toda activists and knowledge holders. I'm sure all of you here are familiar with the Toda language, which is one of the languages that and people who inhabit the Nilgiri ranges. And she's worked for 3 decades alongside linguists, anthropologists, and non-governmental institutions. And her collaborations have been central to advancing scholarly and public understanding of Toda language and culture. And she's also been at the forefront of indigenous-led documentation efforts, particularly Toda songs and narratives, including a volume which is co-authored with our other panelist, Dr. Karthick Narayanan, and which is published by Sahitya Academy. She's participated in indigenous forums, including meetings at the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues in Geneva, and continues to engage actively with global pastoral and indigenous spiritual networks. Very happy to have you, ma'am, here. Thank you very much. The other panelist who has been a collaborator with Ms. Vasamalli is Dr. Karthick Narayanan. Welcome, Karthick. I've known Karthick online, I mean through email and phone calls, but it's a pleasure to meet you, Karthick. And I think it's coincidence that Giridhar put us together in the same panel. Thank you. Karthick is a linguist who works at the intersection of language, culture, and digital technologies. He has led 2 major documentation and archiving initiatives, which focuses on tribal languages and performative traditions. His research is largely within the field of linguistic anthropology, and he has a recent book based on which some of the discussion today will take place. Yeah, that's the book there. Congratulations, Karthick. And he's also building digital technologies for minor and endangered languages in India, which I think is a must for most of our languages. And he is kind of initiating this program. He's also part of Unreal Tech LLP, a startup developing speech and translation technologies for low-resource languages. A significant part of his work involves training community members and other stakeholders in language documentation practices. So, as I said, both of them have collaborated over many years. And today's discussion will cover some of the work they have done as part of the collaborations and also as part of their own individual and community work. I had a couple of pointers where we can begin the discussion. To begin with, I thought each of them can tell us a little more about the work, their current work that they do within the context of Toda language and in its relation to other languages that are around the Nilgiris. Ma'am, can you tell us more about your work, please?
Thank you very much for inviting this literature festival. Really, we are all There are so many languages in India, around more than 2,000 languages, but most of the ancient languages are come from tribal languages. Mostly tribal languages are based on the land culture, based on the landscape. So the culture-based language is talking more about the nature, how to protect the nature, and day-to-day life, we are all thinking about the nature. Now the present life, we have to preserve our language in the literary form, writing, and we have to talk, because all our natures are slowly destroying by modern techniques like that. So I brought up traditionally. There was a school, Takkar Baba Gurukulam. It was built for Toda tribes and Kota tribes of the Nilgiri district. So in that school, most of the Toda people got education at least 5th standard. That is the literary level. Then mostly child marriage is there. Most of the Toda community girls are not allowed to study. It's like that. Men used to go 5th standard to 2nd standard. Then their main occupation is pastoral life. We have hundreds of buffaloes. Then our wealth is calculated with the buffaloes only. So being a pastoral life, our Nilgiri is, world environmental. No, they're fully admirable nature, because they protect the grassland and native plants, native trees, and shola and grassland is the Nilgiri's landscape. So that is our nature thing. So when European came, they were more interested, because our landscape and climate are very so much suitable for their environment. They bought land from us, it seems. There were so many huts. Being a tribe, I'm telling story. I don't know whether I'm coming to the subject or not. There are so many huts only, no stone buildings. There is one place called in Uti, it's called Stone House. They are called the Todas. The Todas were very, tribal people, look like animal voice. They shout from this mountain to that mountain. So Europeans themselves are afraid of talking with them. They thought we are the black magicians or something like that. Slowly they made a friend of the tribal people. Then they want a land from them. They invited some, head people, and they garlanded some garland and gave some little coins and took one place and broken on big stone, and they made the stone house. So Vattakal Mandi. Vattakal Mandi in Tamil means broken one stone, then they made a place. So Mandi means Toda settlement. That is the story of Uti. That is now a heritage building in Uttakam. And so that is what we are, purely pastoral people, and our language is purely about the Nilgiri mountains, river, sholas, stones. My childhood, I brought up in a school, and I learned traditionally. I know the traditional stories and all. Then somehow I managed to complete a graduation. Because I want to avoid a child marriage, and with the help of an NGO, I studied up to BSc, and I want to become a doctor. Then I didn't become a doctor. I didn't get enough mark. Then I became as a social work, and worked among the other tribals also. Then with my traditional knowledge, and I had opportunity to participate in different places, and I picked up little English and little Hindi and Tamil. So I had a gift to meet so many linguists, and took part with other things. The people who wants to ask about my community, and they used to ask me, because I know little language and also traditional knowledge, so I was able to translate them. Then I slowly tried to read books. So I come then, Karthick sir, like a linguist, they came to do PhD, and so our population is just 1,500 only. So we are scatteredly living in Nilgiri. Our villages are 125 villages, and European wants to give revenue patta for us. So we can't, we can't afford to revenue tax. They calculated our buffaloes and pay the tax. So that much land we got, around 3,000 acres of Toda patta lands. Among 5-6 tribes, we are the only people got a Toda patta lands. So we are the land ownership. Government also still thinking, why they got patta, not other tribes. So our money is, when we sell the ghee, we get little money. That much amount we paid for anything else like that. Otherwise, totally we lived with nature, honey, fruits and other things. So I am telling, then slowly I become a member of the Sahitya Academy because out of 600, 700 languages, so I just read my own poetries. Our Toda people are expert in just composing the poet about them, any nature. So in the pure language, I have translated into English. And then what happened, there is one book about, an MNO book, there are 300 songs, Toda songs. So I just, those days, they don't have audios, so they just written on the words. So how to find the tune for those songs? So I have collected elder people from the various villages, and one director from the radio station, Madhavi Madam, she used to call us, then we all go there and do the programs. So I have collected old songs, words and a tune and all, and meaning of the songs and all. So already we had hundreds of songs, or old songs. This is oral tradition, so I have to dig and find out from the interviewer, ground level. Then only I get a true information, no? So like that, I have collected stories and songs. That has become a book in Sahitya Academy. That's called Maru Mulagil Maraya Valigal. In Tamil means enduring voice of the people. So if there is no people, we can't get the sound of the people. So we did in transcription in Toda language and translated it to Tamil, and we also made an audio voice. There are so many subject songs. CDs also. So the voice recording is very important to make a literature. In the morning also, I was so happy to know people called us to listen something. I was thinking, what is that? Small mission, we have to know the Ramayana history. Orally telling, and we have to listen the reception. Like that, we have to protect our endangered languages with proper pronunciation, gives one meaning. If we make the different pronunciation, the meaning changes. Then what I do, recently, there are many books they have written. If people don't read books, no? If I see the book those days, just I'll see the photo. Oh, my photo is there, I'm very happy. I don't read what is inside. Like that, many of our people used to do. Then after getting the project, Tolkudi project from Tamil Nadu government, I got so many books, I've started reading. In that books I have found, there are many, even recent PhD researchers, students also, they come and do the architect of our temple. Then they say, well, I asked them, what is that meaning? Then they said, we are doing a Toda traditional art and Toda traditional temple. What do you call? They said it's a barrel shape. So tribals never use the modern things. There must be some nature background. So I have said, then I asked, we never seen a barrel, why do you write the barrel? It is written already in the book. Then why do you do the PhD again? So many people, so many people are doing the research among the Todas. Same thing is repeating. Indians also abroad, they are doing the same thing. But I'm really thankful for this government. Recently, they gave the Tolkudi project. So I had an opportunity to read instead of just looking the photos and asking people, and interviewed many our Todas. So far, past 8 months, we have completed 45 files, interviewed different people, knowledgeable people who had been to different villages. Based on that, we have translated into English and Tamil. in the first. Then we have transcribed those into the phonetic letters, Toda transcription. But I myself found very difficult to write it in a transcription because I have to be very careful and discuss the pronunciation with the different people. So now we are doing a transcription work in IPA letter, Indian Indian phonetics letter. So International Phonetic IPA letter. That was 2005. Peri Bhaskar Rao and Peter Ladofolia, they came from Tokyo University and they came and did the research. I don't know what is the linguist, but they did in a specific way. They took some wax or something like that, they put in the 50 or 100 people's mouth and they marked lines. I was so surprised, I don't know what they are doing it. When they have tested a different people's voice and they found the correct linguistic or something like that. That first they wrote a text, some words, 2 books published. Then recently that book, dictionary was published in April, Toda dictionary. I think it's the first time they published a Toda dictionary. And I used to show the people, children, school children, see this is Toda dictionary. If you forget the Toda vocabularies, you please refer that. I will give more copies. Why in our languages become endangered? Those days, according to our occupation, pastoral life, we are following the words, stories, and everything connected with our own. We are purely talking our Toda language. Now, in the name of development, children are going to school. Most of us are not doing our traditional occupation. And there's no, there's no time to listen oral stories and songs. But in the festivals and all, we are singing and dancing. We have more traditional way. For example, those days we do this embroidery. Very symbolic because we don't have cloth and a needle that we made from the nature plant and one plant called fern, not like that, fern, twari. From twari, we make up like a soak it and make a small cloth. After drying, we make and line to count the thread. So everything is from the nature. We have a symbolic embroidery like a mountain, snake, butterfly. It is must for us to wear that dress in the rituals. Afterwards, now we formed a self-help group. We are making this as a commercial. This is main woman economy. Then our traditional shawl is called Putukuli. This has to be done by ourselves, and everything is counting work. It is not a needle work. It takes more than a month to do this work. So this is about the embroidery. Then, now I realized all these words are disappearing. How to protect these words? Mainly, first we have to dig from the grassroots level and find out the correct thing. And this research has to be done by from own community people and those who are traditionally in the main thing, field work. Then that has to be compared with official people and technical knowledge. Now we got some people to documenting. So our government is giving a training to the documentation from our tribal people also, documenting and typing and all technical things. Then it has to become a book. Then it is a treasure for the community. And book also, our people should read. It should reach to the community. That is literature. So thank you. I think I have talked too much. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think what we can take away or what we should remember or what Ms. Vasamalli has reminded us is that language is not an isolated phenomena, right? The way she invoked the land to begin with, the economy of the place, nature, and the people-to-people connection. how these are very, very interconnected in the survival and perhaps empowerment of the community. So if you just take language, isolate it from the living context, living living traditions, living practices of a community, I don't think language has language makes any sense. But to connect it to nature, land, economy, as they see it, and according to the changing world as well, right? And it makes a whole lot of difference, and perhaps Karthik can continue from there, talk about your work together, and then tell us today, given that the population is only 1,500 Toda people, so how do you kind of think your work as an individual, as a team, and in collaboration with Ms. Vasamalli, what does it try to do in this?
So thank you, ma'am. So ma'am has set the stage for me, so I need not talk about the Todas. I need not talk about the relationship, the complex web of relationship that exists. I am basically an outsider. That's how I start. Most of what I know is through the lens that she gives me, and through another different disciplinary lens called the linguistics. So I'm a linguist who work trying to understand how the Toda language is used in today's time. So that's my primary point of research. And I also, along with this, study the oral songs. How are they constructed? So the oral songs of Toda are also very well documented because of the fact that, so at one point of time, a great linguist called Emino wrote that if there is any community in the world that can be called a singing community, then it could be Toda. So for everything, ma'am has already pointed out, there is a song. They can compose a song about anything and everything, and have composed songs all throughout their life. So the songs of Toda are something that's too deeply intertwined with them. So my first process was to document those songs and try and give a representative collection of the various songs that are available in the Toda. So both of us worked together to do that. Ma'am was already doing it. My job was to assist and also bring it out into a form that the rest of the world can understand. That's how the book, the shape of the book is. So this is the Marum Ulagal, Maraya Ulagal. So the idea here is to bring to the world the diversity that is well, at least that is known well within the linguistic community about the Todas and the Toda songs and the world of Todas that is associated with the song. So that's how I started. And my own individual project or passion is to understand why or how a language is getting endangered. So we are talking about endangered languages, indigenous and endangered languages is the panel. So if can we call X language an endangered, and what are the basis for it that we assign? So is there a criteria to define anything that falls beneath this is endangered, anything that is below above this is safe and vital? So my own question is about that. So my PhD, while doing all this work, documenting and working with them for documentation, was also to focus on how the language is used in the community, and if I have to claim something as endangered, what would be the description of it? Now, one thing that I have to also say here is the community is not a monolingual community. Ma'am herself pointed out that I know little English. Yeah, we saw the little English enough to talk for half an hour without any break. So that's how fluent they are. Most of them are in English. They know Hindi today. Many of them are in tourism sector. They know Hindi today. They all know Tamil, almost near native Tamil fluency. And in addition to this, they also know at least one more Nilgiri language, many of them Badga. So they are a highly multilingual society. Even unlike the Tamil society only Tamil and English probably, or even in something like Hyderabad, probably 3 languages, Hyderabadi, Dakini, Telugu and English, but they are highly multilingual. So the multilingualism range from minimum 3 to maximum 7, some people. So that's how multilingual they are. So in a community like this, where they have very clear defined role for each language, can we just walk in and say Toda is endangered? Just because the Toda is not used in schools, is it endangered? So that's the first question that I ask. That's the question that I pursued individually in my work. So in addition to the documentation of the Toda's oral heritage, we also invested a lot of effort in creating a written system for Toda, a writing system for Toda, because there is internally an acknowledgement that is clear that there is some loss within the community, and we have to preserve those. We have to at least bring back those into the memory. So we worked and invested a bit of time on creating a writing system. The first attempt is this. In this book, what we have done, Maram Ulagil, Maraya Ulagil, we have tried to use a Roman script. What we have done, the book is, on the left side is Roman script, on the right side is a Tamil translation of it, along with the DVD that goes with it. Now, we realized that even though we wanted, after some consultation, Roman script, it did not really fly. So then we invested some time on designing a Tamil-based orthography. Now, there is a challenge here. Toda has some 33 or 36 consonants, depending on how you count them. So 33 or 36 consonants, no Dravidian language has that, right? And yes, I'm coming to that. So we have those 5 plus 5 short and long vowels. In addition to those, we have 3 unique centralized vowels. These are unrounded vowels. Again, none of the Dravidian languages can mark that. Now, even if I want to borrow something from Telugu or Malayalam, I don't have a way to do it. So what we did then is to sit together at the Central Institute of Indian Languages, along with the Central Institute's effort, to devise a system for writing Toda. Now, a first primer is going to be released by the Central Institute of Indian Languages based on this. Now, it is that writing system that ma'am has now carried forward into the printout into what we call as the Tolkudi archive. Now, at the Tolkudi, ma'am said that the government is helping community train and all this stuff. What I managed to do is that I work with the government to train communities to document languages. What we also do along with this is create a digital public access archive that people can see. So if any of you are interested in looking at it, you can just Google Tolkudi, Tholkudi, and you can find it, tolkudi.in. You will find the website, you will find ma'am's collection, and you'll also find some 5 other collections from indigenous languages in Tamil Nadu. Now, it's a project for the indigenous languages in Tamil Nadu. So this is the sort of intersections that I have with ma'am's work, and this is the sort of intersection that I have with Toda work itself. So we design public access platforms, we design tools that are necessary to document those, and we also impart, I personally also go to communities and help them document the languages. So I'm putting it out, I help, I don't. I help the communities to do the documentation from this, to do their own documentation. That's the work.
Thank you, Karthik. There are 2 things that interest me in what both of you have said. One, although the major effort in your collaboration, in your work, looks like it is archiving, documenting, recording the language, right? So there's a whole lot of effort going in for the archiving of a language. At one level, I feel, does it kind of museumize, make the language and people look like a museum who are very different from the mainstream Tamil culture? Is there a problem there? Do you think it is a problem to show a language and people as a museum? Number 2, at the same time, I think the work kind of connects orality, printing, writing, and digital technology today. So that is kind of moving beyond the archiving, museumizing kind of an effort. But somewhere I feel both of them are going hand in hand. I don't know what you think about it, or you feel, whether, I might be wrong because I just know your work recently, but I would like to know what you think.
I would like to give one example, sir, a language problem. There are 14 Patri clans in our Toda community. Clan means father Patri clans. So that Patri clan is confirming by giving one plant when the girl is first pregnancy in the Shola, not in the village. They have to go. Earlier days, they should go 1 month before. When she is a 5th month pregnancy, they should go in the jungle. And 7th month starting, husband and wife should live in the jungle. And 7th month, husband should go and pluck the one plant, and he should give it to the wife. At that time, wife will ask the husband, what is your clan bow and arrow name? So that we are not hunters. We are the pure vegetarian people. So what we do, we make one plant as a bow and one grass as a harrow. That name is Toda name. It is Push and Nark. Even 10 years before also I thought that plant name is Push only. Push Tor only I thought. But actual name is Poof Tor. So actual Toda name is Poof Tor. Poof means insect. That means that insect is in the childhood, pregnancy womb. That is the name came for that plant. Poof Tor is the original name. Now I am in my literacy, I am writing the botanical name to confirm this is the Poof Tor. So the literacy is very important. So Poof Tor. So then what happened? That Narktor is there. So since when she received that bow from the husband has to say 3 times. For example, my bow name is, when my husband gave, Purdish Pulbohom. Purdish Pulbohom, we have to say 3 times. Then I have to receive and keep in front of the lamp, which was written in the navel tree. What is that called, sir? Navel tree in Tamil. One particular tree, they make the lamp place. I have to place in front of the lamp after receiving. Since then, all my children will become my husband's clan. So this is clan confirmation. Why I am telling, this name is very important. So in Toda name is not a Pushdor, it is a Pufdor and a Narkdor. In one ceremony, instead of giving the particular plant, they gave another plants. So it is a similar leaf, but when it's flowering, no? The actual plant is flowering in pink color. Other one is yellow color. So people identify, oh, this is a wrong plant, you should not give it. So we are very much dependent in the nature. There must be some meaning. We have to do research, why that plant was given. Then I was asking one of my elder lady, why we are particularly giving this plant? Why is the reason? Then she was telling, you don't know old customs. She said Ramana was given that his bow to the Sita through that plant. So we are making that plant as a bow and harrow as a grass, one grass, nark grass. So there must be some reason. That research has to be done by the indigenous people by themselves, and they do deep and ask many people, then they will get some result for that. So now in the literacy, what is important means we have to write, in the modern you have to write botanical name of that place and reason for this ceremony. And when God vanished, his God name is Eun. When he vanished, he told the name for all 14 clans. Now we can't create the new names. So those words are written as a literacy now for the future generation. Nowadays, this younger generation, what they do, they give invitation to their college friends and calling them as a pregnancy, wedding ceremony. They take a wedding photo when she is pregnant. It is not at all a wedding. Wedding is very simple, getting blessing and so this language problem we face. They can't call any people like a clan confirmation ceremony because it's an entirely different ceremony. They call everybody for my wedding, please come. But when they come, it is pregnancy ceremony. So these and all we are correcting in our literacy document. Thank you. Sorry, I think.
No,
question is.
I'll just add a few things to it. So, are we museumizing it? Are we making into a cultural object or a cultural heritage object rather? Maybe. May not be, but the question is, but rather the answer for it depends on the gaze. What gaze are we using to make this object? Yes, we are creating objects out of the culture, but the gaze through which that we are creating this object is what determines whether it is a static museum object or let's say a sort of an instance of a living heritage. Now, as ma'am just pointed out, if you go and Google today, Toda wedding ceremony, on YouTube you will find several such videos of the same instance of the ritual that she just told. uploaded without any consent, and right there, floating in the digital space without any anchorage to the real world perspective. The complexity you just heard, each clan has to say different set of words for a child in a womb to be inculcated into a clan. It's not a wedding. It's a clan confirmation ceremony. You will not find this anywhere in any digital space. Now, should their perspective be reflected on the digital space? Yes. And in what terms? Should it be reflected on Karthik's or Periyabhaskara or Yamina's term, or in their own term? Now, that's where the gaze here. So the gaze is sort of a commoner who is consuming it for entertainment, or people who are trying to appropriate it for other purposes, like other entertainment or entertainment-derived businesses, or as a linguist and an anthropologist, gazing it as a ritual of a exotic society, or as community members seeing it as everyday life. Now, digital space by themselves do not discriminate about gazes. They give spaces for all forms of gazes. Now, should their gaze be part of those digital spaces? Is the first question that we asked, and we believe it should be. And that's why, while documenting it, the detail that ma'am just pointed out is also present along with the video. So if you want to go and see the video, you also have to learn about all these aspects involved in it, including the botanical name of the species that is being handed over by the clan, by the male member of the clan to the female member who is carrying the child. So now, it does have a risk of museumizing, it does have the risk of objectifying rituals and practices. But we believe that that can be minimized to a great extent if we give spaces for the indigenous voices to be reflected there. So that's response to Sowmya's question. But I do acknowledge the danger there.
The other thing that interested me in what both of them reflected is while developing the writing system for Toda language, you have tried using the Roman script. IPA, I'm sure it is in the Roman, but extended Roman script, but not something for common usage, let us say. It's a very specialized kind of a writing system. But what was the issue with using the Roman script that you shifted to Tamil? Is it because it was not accepted among the community members, or was there some other issue? Or was there an issue with the government? Because I know within some languages, especially in Bodo and also in Kodava and Tulu, people are not very happy. The governments are not very happy if you use any other script other than the dominant script there.
Okay. So here, the problem was uptake. The government did not object to Roman. Probably if we had used Devanagari, might have objected, but I'm not sure. But we never wanted to use Devanagari because no one knew how to read Devanagari. People can speak, but people can't read. I can speak Hindi very fluently, but you give me a 3-line sentence to read, I will take 3 hours to read it. What I see is a beautiful art if it is written well. Otherwise, I can speak for hours in Hindi. That's not a problem. So that's how most of them were. So Devanagari was never in consideration then. So we don't know that political problem would have come. So the option was between Roman and Tamil for us. So first we thought Roman is getting more fluent. English is getting more fluent, and in all digital spaces, typing English is much easier than typing Tamil. So we thought we will go with Roman. But that was counterintuitive on our part, but it didn't go well, because what we observed within the community is people were writing in Tamil, whatever they want to say in Toda. But the person who wrote knows what they wrote. The next person to whom they will send it as an SMS won't be able to read it. That's the sort of forensic investigation they have to recover what is written, because Toda sound system is so drastically different from Tamil orthographic representation that they have to spend a lot of time recovering it. But we realize that a lot of people are sharing information or writing it down for themselves in Tamil. So it is based on this that we decided, let us stick to Tamil. Even though it is very difficult, even though the extensions that we will be making won't be part of our Tamil orthographic extension, let us stick to it. So that was the motivation for reverting back to Tamil. There was no pressure on us on anything. So the government at some level they may be very unhappy if I say this, are ignorant of it. Yeah, CIL is completely okay with it. In fact, I think as a policy, they say if there is a state language, if there is a state script, stick to the state language and state script. Probably there is an inherent ideology there, but I think that's also not supposed to be encouraged. But government as a whole, both central and state, are largely ignorant of it. They were like, fine, do something, is how they were seen.
My own research I found, sir, but Toda language is a Proto-Dravidian language. So recently when you interviewed different people, there is one oracle man. Oracle man means he gets oracle power and he talks. So when he was talking, I interviewed him. He's only one man. When we want to do temple rituals or anything related to community, we have to ask him, and he will come in front of the temple and he gets oracle and talks. And then I was asking, what language you are talking now? And when he gets oracle, he doesn't know proper Kannada, I mean Mysore language. He talks a Kannada. Kannada means very old Kannada. Sometimes if we can't understand, we used to bring one Kannada people, he will stand outside the wall and he talks. And in his interview, he was telling me, as far as you know, 100 years, one man talked old Malayalam, it seems. Old Malayalam, when all Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, Tulu, all are one family, I think. That was the ancient language of Toda, I believe. Then he was talking Malayalam. He doesn't know Malayalam, but when he gets oracle power in our temple, he talks the Malayalam. Okay, and Ern Gutten is another man. He is an old man, is no more. He talks Toda. That's pure Toda, I think. So 3 languages are in our Toda community. So it's a mixture. So that's why we need a Tamil linguist and IPA and new phonetics. There are 18 vowels are there. When we transcribe, we ourselves are describing whether it's peers or meers, ish, like that. So 18 vowels, and we talk, we don't think how this pronounced, what is the letter is there, like that. So now we had an opportunity to transcription. We sit and discuss, no, this is the pronunciation. I will ask my grandma how is pronouncing like that. So somehow we are doing our level best to that. And nowadays the modern things are there. When we want to communicate other people, now we are speaking with phone, radio and all that. Those days, immediately we climb up the mountain and reflect the mirror. Then people will know we are, they have a feeling of talking with us. So we have a quick method of reflecting by mirror. So based on the old method and old language, now we are using this phonetic letter in Tamil, like that. Thank you, sir. So that's why you have selected Tamil and IPA letter.
Let me just add one thing. So how different it is from Tamil. So there is something called as a palatalization rule in Tamil. This happens when Tamil emerges as a separate language. So the word for do in Tamil today is sei. But in pre-Tamil era, that is before Tamil distinguished from Tamil Kannada branch into Tamil Malayalam branch, we had something called as K. Now in Toda, it is K. To do is K, not sei. Now, if going by this distinction, what we can understand is Toda split away from the Dravidian language even before Tamil started to emerge as an autonomous language. Right? Now, if you want to date it to 3000, Toda is very well beyond 3000 years old. If you want to say 4000, Toda is beyond 4000 years old. 5000, you keep on changing Tamil date, Toda date will change accordingly. We are looking at a language, we are looking at the state of a language which is so distinct from many of the languages that we know today, the modern languages that we know today. They had their own evolution, I'm not denying those, but the split happened before modern Tamil, before pre-Tamil. We call it the pre-Tamil era. So that's how old. So considering this split and considering the variation, none of these modern Dravidian languages have the adequate resources, written resources, orthographic resources to bring something like this into writing. We can have a special session on writing oral languages and we can just keep on talking about it and about the complexities on that. But I think I'll leave it to Sowmya now.
I didn't realize, but we are almost off time. I would like ma'am to just give us few words for all of us here today. As an elder, what do you think we should all be doing towards our languages and languages that are very powerless in comparison to other languages? What would you advise us, ma'am?
I know I may be right or wrong, because everybody here, they all will be proud to know about their names, no sir? I will be proud to say my name is Vasamalli, but like that everybody will be, based on the name only, they will be growing, maybe, I don't know. But I would like to say in this thing, in our naming ceremony, we have a special ritual. I don't know how others are doing the naming ceremony. We call it Mohmutar Tart. Mohmutar Tart means opening face of the child. That day what we do, early morning, maybe those days we are having delivery at home only. Nowadays we are go to hospital anywhere. Even though we deliver our baby in the hospital, but we don't open the face of the child. We bring back to the house and keep it safely. And that naming day only we are opening the child face, whether it will be male or female, outside of the house. First, early morning, normally it will be full moon, otherwise early morning, then child has to be taken out. First, he has to feel the ground. He has to touch the ground. This is a mother earth, no? When he born, he is falling into the earth or something. So, make the child to touch the earth first, then ask the child to look into the morning star. So before morning star disappears, we have to get out and ask the child to look into the star. Then we have to tell the child, please listen the morning bird voice. That is carpets, bush bird chart. Before we are having the watch and all, clock and all, we will depend the bird voice. So that day breaks because of that bird singing. There's a black myna in Tamil, they call it. Then the child will be taken to the sacred area and his name will be whispered by the maternal uncle or any of the ancestors. Generally, the male child name will be like a mountain, tree, stone, sun, related to those words for the men's. Female names will be related to the river, ornament, flower, and new moon, moon, like that we have. And the ancestors' names are linked with the all these sacred names. So we are analyzing those particular names will be given by the elder people or a maternal uncle. So this, starting from the beginning of the each child, our life is depending the nature. So our language is also based on that. So these names are very difficult to pronounce in the schools because we have more voice and all. When we go to the school, they can't call those names. They give us a different names. So this is, and our children should know what is their name is related. What is grandparents' name. So we are doing the personal name analysis also in our literature. So this naming ceremony is important. That's why there's letters also. So my name was no Vasamalli. No, my grandfather was not happy to call my name, and he said, "Where is your name, which we gave you?" Then I said, what name you gave? I had forgotten. Because again, our name has to be confirmed by the maternal uncle, cutting little bit hair, and 3 times they have to say. Then only that name is, officially confirmed in our community like that. So my name was Cosman Dev. Cos means Ka becomes Ko. Cos means money. Man means house. Devi, Cosman Devi. maybe meaning will be Lakshmi, I'm not sure. That's Lakshmi, I think. So there will be Toda name. Now in my project, everybody, if I see the children, what is the given name, please tell. Then they will go and ask the parents. So I'm bringing back to the tradition and making them to say their own name properly, at least to know by themselves. So this is what my literacy work for correcting phonetics and all. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, what kind of struck me is for every interaction or question or query I had, the way Ms. Vasamalli responds with a story, right? So it's very striking, and we need to rack our brains regarding how we need to interpret that story, what it means to them, and what it means to all of us. Thank you, both of you, for being part of this, and I think we could actually go on till lunch, or as you said, many more days on each of the issues you spoke about. Let's meet outside, and people who have... Is there a question-answer session?
As you see the language splitting off, the early language used in the oracles, splitting off before even Tamil and Malayalam. It's interesting that at the same time it seems to be Dravidian. So what about the pre-Dravidian features, and is that a good place to look for them? Because there is nowhere in South India that we can go that far back in time, and I'm wondering if this is one such place.
Okay, I think I will answer that part of it. So yes, maybe Nilgiri is one such place where we can look for it. I have already communicated to you that another neighboring language, one of the linguists, well-known Tamilologist, not just any linguist, Kamal Zavabel, clearly writes that I see in Irula word stock words that don't belong to any of the known language families of South Asia. Right? It is not Indo-Aryan, it is not Dravidian, it is not Austroasiatic or Munda, whatever you want to say. It is not even closer to the words of the Andamanese languages. He even go on to check those, and he's saying that this stock of words, I don't know where they are from. Now there are certain unique Nilgiri features. For example, the old Tamil, for instance, had a way of expressing negation without any negative marker, just by lack of tense. Just by the lack of tense. It is one of the... At the world level, it is considered one of the most rarest of the rare features. So there's a book called Rara Phenomena in Linguistics. So this is the rarest of the rare phenomena in the world level, and we still have those in Toda, Kota and Badga. What was there in Old Tamil? So was this a substrata? We don't know. We don't see that in any other Indian languages, right? There are quite a few other languages that we could talk about, features that we could talk about, that could probably be not attested in other Dravidian languages outside the Nilgiri region, right? Or could only be attested with the older form of Tamil. So now these could be evidences of another substrata that we don't know about, but more research, more documentation is required to even get a sense of what are these substrata features. Unfortunately, we don't have such good documentation, despite Nilgiris being one of the well-studied areas in South Asia. So when I say well-studied, I'm not exaggerating. It's like the most studied region in South Asia. Like, I think she can acknowledge that on that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. What I like about this is to know that written languages, when we talk about old languages, usually we point out, oh, Tamil has a written history of 2000 years, Sanskrit has a written history of so many years. But written languages come much, much later than languages like Toda or Kota or Badaga or whichever languages that have been in the margins for so long but have survived equally well, right? Thank you. On that note, thank you everybody for being here. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orissa and in the eastern region. That's right. Yes. Thank you very much. We'll meet again. Yeah.